Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to the marketplace. Coming up this afternoon, Ghana's total debt stock rises slightly, reaching 629 billion cedis as of the end of July.
A marginal jump.
Also coming up, export earnings hit a new record. Ghana rakes in $17 billion in the first 8 months of 2025, boosting hopes for stronger reserves and a more stable cedi. Plus, later today, the Bank of Ghana is expected to announce a new policy rate after concluding a 2-day review of the economy.
While reiterating our readiness to adjust as the disinflation process evolves and risks such as global trade disruptions or prospective utility tariff adjustments are assessed.
And later, Triton Motors unveils new range of JSE commercial vehicles in Ghana with flexible purchase options.
Something for everybody. We have something for the distribution companies in Accra and in the other cities. We have vehicles for special use.
We've got details of those stories and others coming up. Stay with us. And thanks for staying with us. Ghana's total public debt has inched up once again, reaching a new high. According to the latest data from the Bank of Ghana, the country's debt stock now stands at 629 billion cedis. Here's more in this report.
The data showed the new debt levels represent 44.9% of the country's gross domestic product. A careful analysis on the data showed the debt stock in cedi terms had been rising from May this year. However, if you compare it to the same period last year, there has been some significant drop. But when you assess Ghana's debt stock in dollar terms, the amount has been the same since May, hovering around $59 billion. The country's total debt as a percentage of GDP is currently around 44.9%, but the IMF is projecting we may end the year at around 60%. So one is not sure for now whether the debt numbers could be going up.
Now, the Ghana cedi's rate of appreciation against the US dollar has slowed significantly, now standing at 21% this month. That's according to the latest economic and financial data report released by the Bank of Ghana. However, the report also reveals a notable development. Between August and September this year, the cedi depreciated by nearly 8% against the dollar. This sharp decline in value has caught the attention of several market analysts who describe the trend as both unexpected and concerning, especially given the cedi's relatively strong performance earlier in the year. The contrasting movement from a strong appreciation to a sudden loss suggests increasing volatility in the foreign exchange market and raises questions about underlying pressures on the local currency. Analysts say factors such as seasonal demand for foreign exchange, external debt servicing, and investor sentiment may all be contributing to the cedi's recent dip. Meanwhile, Ghana's total export earnings continue to climb, hitting record highs this year. According to data from the Bank of Ghana, total export revenue reached $17 billion as of the end of August, marking one of the highest levels recorded in recent years. This strong performance is being attributed to increased earnings from key export commodities, including gold, cocoa, and oil. Analysts say the sustained growth in export revenue is a positive signal for the country's balance of payments and foreign exchange reserves. Here's more in the following Business Desk report.
The $17 billion that the country realized ending August this year represents a significant increase compared to the about $12 billion in the same period for last year. Gold was the biggest contributor as it brought in $11.7 billion. Our earnings from cocoa for the first 8 months of this year stood at $2.4 billion. However, what we got from oil exports was not that good, as decline in production from the country's oil fields has impacted this amount. On the other hand, we spent $11.7 billion to finance the country's import needs, representing a marginal jump from the same period last year. This resulted in a trade surplus of more than $6 billion, a development that could go a long way to strengthen our reserves and help defend the local currency, as well as our external position.
Now, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana is set to announce a new policy rate later today following a 2-day review of recent economic developments. At its last meeting, the committee indicated a willingness to reduce the current policy rate, which stands at 25%, should key indicators like inflation show signs of improvement. However, Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Johnson Esiama recently cautioned that the anticipated increases in utility prices could influence the committee's decision on the policy rate.
As that underscores ongoing resilience as recapitalization and strict underwriting continues. On the fiscal side, colleagues, execution in the first half of 2025 signaled consolidation. The deficit on commitment basis was contained at 0.7% of GDP, below target, contributing, together with CD strength and external restructuring, to a decline in the public debt ratio by mid-year. Against this backdrop of easing inflation pressures, anchored expectations, and stronger buffers, the MPC in July, as you will recall, reduced the policy rate by 300 basis points to 25.0%, while reiterating our readiness to adjust as the disinflation process evolves and risks such as global trade disruptions or prospective utility tariff adjustments are assessed. Colleagues, our commitment remains firm, and these are to maintain price stability, to safeguard financial stability, and to create the conditions for inclusive and sustainable growth.
That was Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Johnson Esiama, briefing the press on Monday on the first day of the MPC meetings. Market watchers will closely be monitoring today's announcement for signs of the bank's response to these evolving economic pressures. Now, 8 banks in Ghana have earned 5-star ratings for overall service quality in consumer banking in 2024, according to the Ghana Customer Satisfaction Index released by the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, CIMG. First Atlantic Bank topped the consumer banking category with a score of 95.3%, followed closely by First National Bank and Stanbic Bank. In the business banking category, Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG emerged as the leader with an impressive score of 99.6%, ahead of Cowbank and Omnibasic Bank.
Speaking to Joy Business at the launch of the 2024 Customer Satisfaction Index report for the banking sector, National President of the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, Michael Abiu, stressed the importance of putting customers at the center of banking operations. He urged financial institutions to listen carefully to the concerns and challenges of customers and adopt scientific approaches in developing solutions.
First is to understand that CIMG has the mandate to do such market research to help customer service delivery within the industry. And with such a service, now we've really measured the customer satisfaction, customer loyalty for all the various banks, I think with the exception of Access Bank and Republic Bank. And it shows them how well they are doing in terms of how they are delivering their service. Generally, it gives them, especially with the banks, it gives them the information to be able able to deliver on effective service, to know which areas they are doing well and which areas they need to improve. But in terms of us, the customers, now the banks know what we need, what they should do, and how they can improve the service in order to get better scores next year. And we're expecting that as this result is published by the news and everybody is aware of it, they are going to take cue and they are going to improve service delivery to us Ghanaians.
On this part, the chairman of the event and president of the Ghana Association of Banks, John Ewa, called on banks to take the findings of the report seriously and use them as a guide to enhance service delivery across the sector.
I think, as you can see, though the other performance metrics or the assessment points were good, overall the customer loyalty index was not that good for the industry, which means that our customers are not entirely very loyal to us because most customers are multi-banked. So if you have a customer and you're doing business with that customer, you have a duty to make the customer sticky to your bank or to your brand. And it is a message that we want all the banks to take. If every bank works to retain their best customers or their good customers, you find that overall service standards within the industry will improve. So we want next year, I want to see that the customer loyalty index improves from the 45% that we saw to somewhere around 60. Because on the business banking side, the banks are doing very well.
The Ghana Customer Satisfaction Index is an annual report that assesses the quality of services provided by banks and other key sectors, ranking institutions based on customer experiences and perceptions.
And you're watching The Marketplace. Still to come, Triton Motors unveils new range of JC commercial vehicles in Ghana with flexible purchase options.
We have something for everybody. We have something for the distribution companies in Accra and in the other cities. We have vehicles for special use.
We've got details after this break. Welcome back. Let's talk tech. We've got our eyes on the automobile industry as part of measures to provide robust light and heavy-duty vehicles to meet the needs of businesses. Triton Motors, authorized dealers of JAC vehicle brands, have unveiled the new range of light to heavy-duty commercial JAC vehicles. Speaking at a media soiree to outdoor the vehicles, Jihad Hijazi, chief executive of JAC Motors, revealed that the company is willing to offer flexible purchasing agreements with companies and individuals who visit their showroom. Here's more.
The newly unveiled vehicles include light, medium, and heavy-duty commercial models. Triton Motors, the authorized dealer of JAC vehicles in Ghana, says the new range is robust and suitable for all inland and hinterland operations. At the unveiling ceremony, Jihad Hijazi, CEO of Triton Motors, revealed that the vehicles are well suited for all types of businesses.
We have something for everybody. We have something for the distribution companies in Accra and in the other cities. We have vehicles for special use, and obviously behind you or in front of you, you'll see the heavy commercial stuff. So these are for construction and mining operations. So essentially we are catering to everybody in town. And as I said earlier, we do have the specialized vehicles. Okay, so there are vehicles that inculcates crane system on it, water tankers, hydrants, fuel tankers, ambulances, anything and everything. It can be done on a jack chassis.
He also highlighted the company's flexible payment structure as a key differentiator from competitors.
Our group has been known to be very flexible with payments and facilities to all our customers. The only thing we require is that you qualify for what we offer you. So if you need something that costs so much and your books can cater to it, or a bank can help us to give you a loan, we will look for it. So we are open to giving facilities and soft loans and payment plans to anybody and everybody who is capable of taking care of their obligation.
As part of efforts to expand the reach of Jack vehicles, Triton Motors plans to open additional outlets across the country to enhance accessibility.
So our next step will be to expand our physical network into the main cities of Ghana, and then expand it further to the hinterlands where usually our heavy commercial vehicles will be located.
Located at Atiko Junction off the Kaneshie-Odoko Highway, Triton Motors also offers pickups and a full range of SUVs. In the near future, the company plans to introduce buses as part of its fleet. Management also announced plans to explore the introduction of sustainable vehicles ranging from light to heavy-duty models, cementing Triton Motors' position as one of the leading vehicle dealerships in the country.
Great stuff. Another tech story. Ghana's artificial intelligence space has taken a major step forward as Heritage Labs unveils the Ghana IA Practitioner's Guide. This is a blueprint designed to regulate the sector and drive national development. Here's more in this report.
Heritage Lab, with support from GIZ Ghana, has officially launched the Ghana AI Practitioner's Guide. This is a landmark aimed at regulating the artificial intelligence ecosystem and fostering technological growth in the country. Speaking to the media, Vice President of Commercialization, Operations and Growth at Heritage Lab, Kofi Oklu, underscored the importance of the initiative, noting that the guide will serve as a crucial resource in shaping Ghana's AI future.
Just as the Industrial Revolution, moving from mass production to tech, we are now moving from tech to a world of intelligent tech, where machines are getting just as smart as human beings. So we are now collaborating with machines on a head-to-head level. And this is the more reason why we need a guide. It's the more reason why we need some structure in place, because now your computer is no longer a computer. It's just as intelligent, if not more intelligent than you are. So for Ghana, and with all the ethics we have, we want to ensure that everything that is done in the AI space is regulated, ethical and impactful.
He explained that the guide is not only expected to provide direction for AI practitioners, but also act as a foundation for policy development and regulatory frameworks in the country.
This guide would be an inspiration for policymakers, and one of the documents that policymakers will look at to be as a stepping stone into policy. Because the next step now is really to come up with a set of policies that will be useful in the AI space. And this guide would be one of the documents, one of the literature that would be leaned on.
Technical advisor at GIZ Ghana, Elikplim Sabla, also shed light on the contents of the guide, highlighting its focus on ethical standards, practical tools for AI practitioners, and guides to ensure responsible innovation in the sector.
And so we start off by giving an introduction, giving you a bit of a history of where AI development in Ghana and also presently where we are. And then we also take you into the legal frameworks that exist, the Data Protection Act, Electronics Transaction Act and other existing frameworks that govern the space, so that you'll be able to understand it and know that if you are going to deploy or develop an AI tool in the country, you'd have to adhere to all of these existing frameworks. Then we go on to talk about AI's development and deployment in the Ghanaian context, what it means, and some steps you need to follow to be able to develop a tool that will be beneficial to Ghanaians. We also look at use cases in Ghana, and then also relevant AI tools that you can use. We go on to look at education, then we look at the entrepreneurship landscape, how you can access funding, what you should know before you actually put out an AI tool as an entrepreneur. Then finally, we crown it all with AI and then sustainability.
The Ghana AI Practitioners Guide is expected to serve as a reference point for innovators, policymakers, and regulators as the nation navigates the opportunities and challenges presented by artificial intelligence.
And that story ending the marketplace. There is more news on our website, nigerionline.com/business. We've got today's top stories over there. Ghana's total export earnings hit $17 billion by August 2025. Also, Ghana's public debt increased by 628.8 billion Ghana cedis in July 2025. nigerionline.com/business. My name is Daryl Kwao. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time tomorrow.